The day the CEO's daughter auctioned me, I smiled. Not because it was funny, not because it didn't hurt, but because I understood something she didn't. Power is loud. Control is quiet. And she had just made a very loud mistake. Her name was Victoria Hale, daughter of Richard Hale, founder and CEO of Hale and Company, Rowe Holdings, multi-billion-dollar private equity firm. I worked there for 6 years, started as a junior analyst, worked my way up to senior strategy director. I built restructuring models that saved 2 failing acquisitions. I negotiated vendor contracts that cut operational costs by 14%. I wasn't flashy. I wasn't political. I was effective. Victoria joined the company 2 years ago. No prior experience. MBA from an expensive school. Massive confidence. Minimal competence. But none of that mattered. She had the last name. At first, she stayed quiet. Then she started leading meetings. Then she started replacing department heads. Then she started calling herself Executive Vice President. No board vote, no official announcement, just decide. No one challenged her, except me. Not directly. Ideas. Numbers don't lie. And I used numbers. One afternoon she called an innovation event. Entire executive floor invited. Cameras set up. Champagne. It felt less like strategy, more like social media content. She stood at the front, smiling. I believe leadership should be dynamic, she said. Today, we're doing something bold. I already knew I wouldn't like it. She pulled up a slide. Department performance auction. Laughter in the room. I didn't laugh. We'll be bidding for underperforming divisions, she said. Highest bidder gets to lead restructuring. Loser handles execution. It sounded playful until my department appeared on screen. Revenue projections slightly below target due to market shift. Temporary. Explainable, but she framed it as failure. She looked directly at me. Let's start at 1 million budget authority. Executives awkwardly chuckled. Some played along. It became clear. This wasn't strategy. It was humiliation. She wasn't auctioning divisions. She was auctioning me. 2 million, said the CFO jokingly. 3, someone else added. She smirked. 4 million. Final. She turned toward me. You now report to Mark in compliance. Compliance. A clear demotion. The room clapped lightly. I nodded, smiled, said nothing. That's what confused her. She expected anger, embarrassment, reaction. Instead, I walked out calmly. By Monday, internal restructuring memo was released. Strategic realignment. My title downgraded. Authority reduced. Access limited. But here's what Victoria didn't understand. I wasn't just a strategy director. I was architect of Hale and Rowe's risk containment framework. 2 years earlier, after a near regulatory investigation scare, I built a silent protection layer. Cross-division reporting triggers, investment risk thresholds, audit flag systems. They ran automatically, but only one person knew how to recalibrate them. Me. When she auctioned my department, she transferred reporting lines. But she didn't adjust risk parameters, which meant the system still flagged executive-level overrides, including hers. Victoria loved aggressive acquisitions, high-risk startups, overvalued tech. She wanted fast headlines. Within weeks of her promotion stunt, she authorized a $240 million acquisition. GreenSpark Logistics. Overpriced, unstable cash flow, but trendy. Board hesitated. She pushed. It's visionary. It wasn't. It violated two internal risk thresholds I had coded. Threshold A, debt exposure ratio. Threshold B, unverified asset valuation gap. When both are triggered simultaneously, automatic internal review begins. Not public, internal, silent. Reports escalate directly to independent board audit committee. Not CDO, not executive team, independent committee. She didn't know that because she never asked how the protection architecture worked. 3 weeks after the acquisition, GreenSpark's valuation drops 28%. Market correction, predicted in my original model, the dual thresholds triggered. Audit committee received automatic compliance review notice. Not from me, from the system. Victoria found out during a board meeting. What's this escalation? She asked sharply. Audit chair responded calmly. Risk flags were triggered. She looked confused. No one informed me. Automated. She demanded IT access logs. That's when she saw my name attached as system architect. She called me immediately. Her tone was different now. What did you build? Safeguards, I replied calmly. You set this up against me. I set it up 2 years ago. Silence. You need to deactivate it. I no longer have that authority. That was true. After my demotion, I lost modification privileges. Only audit committee could override. And they wouldn't. Because the risk was real. GreenSpark's financials deteriorated quickly. Media caught wind of valuation discrepancies. Investors grew nervous. Stock dipped. Richard Hale, her father, stepped in. First time publicly questioning her decision. Internal investigation launched. Not criminal, but corporate governance review. Emails reviewed. Approval chains analyzed. Here's the twist. During the acquisition push, Victoria had pressured 2 analysts to adjust risk projections. Optimistic modeling, she called it. Those emails surfaced. She thought internal chats were harmless, but Compliance Archive retained everything. The same system she ignored. Within 2 months, GreenSpark write-down hit $110 million. Board confidence cracked. Richard Hale looked older, tired. Emergency executive session scheduled. Victoria entered that room confident. She exited pale. Official announcement 2 days later. Victoria Hale stepping down from executive leadership to pursue external opportunities. Translation? Removed, quietly. No public scandal, but internal collapse. And me? Audit committee called me privately. We underestimated your framework, they said. We need leadership stability of my previous role, plus expanded authority. I paused. Because revenge isn't about returning. It's about leverage. I'll accept, I said calmly, under one condition. Name it. Independent operational authority from executive interference. Approved. 3 months later, I was officially Chief Strategy Officer. Victoria's name disappeared from internal documents. Her office emptied. No farewell party. No champagne. Just silence. One evening months later, she requested a private meeting. We met in a neutral cafe. No assistants, no cameras. She looked smaller, not physically, but energetically. You planned this, she said quietly. No, I replied. You embarrassed me publicly, she added. You auctioned me publicly. She looked down. I didn't think it would go that far. Calmly. You don't think in systems. You think in moments. Tears formed in her eyes. For what it's worth, I'm sorry. I studied her face. For the first time, she looked human. Not powerful. Not arrogant. Just inexperienced. I never wanted your downfall, I said truthfully. You engineered it yourself. She left quietly. Roe stabilized. Greenspark recovered partially under strict restructuring. Risk frameworks strengthened. Independent oversight expanded. And that auction event, it became legend inside the firm. A warning story told to new executives. Never humiliate competence, especially not in public, because humiliation creates patience, and patient people build systems. She auctioned me for attention. I engineered her downfall with architecture. She used spectacle. I used structure. Power shouts. Control calculates. And when the CEO's daughter tried to sell me, she accidentally sold herself. Corporate revenge isn't loud. It's designed.